My own sister looked my parents right in the eye and told them I dropped out of nursing school, hooked up with some loser who was into drugs, and was too ashamed to ever show my face again. And just like that, they erased me. Blocked my number. Skipped my graduation. Pretended I was dead. 2 months ago, I was in the middle of a brutal night shift at Chicago's Northwestern Memorial ER. Alarms blaring, blood on the floor. When the next chart came up, Olivia Harper, 35, critical from a car wreck. My stomach dropped. The woman who ruined my life was bleeding out on my table, and our parents were rushing in, still calling her their only daughter. But the words she whispered to me right after I saved her, with Mom and Dad standing there, tore our family wide open in a way that made me wonder if some blood is just poison wearing a smile. Ladies, have you ever been the one everyone forgot? What would you do if the person who stole your whole world was suddenly fighting for hers? Before I take you any deeper into this mess of lies and heartbreak, tell me in the comments. Do you believe karma comes back around? And if you like such stories, hit that like and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing these real stories for you. Okay, let me start from the beginning. I'm Olivia, 32 now, and this is how I went from feeling like the family ghost to holding my sister's life in my hands. Growing up in our little brick house in Evanston, just north of Chicago, I was always the quiet one. Sophia, 3 years older, was the star. Cheer captain, the girl who could charm every adult at our backyard barbecues, the one who made Mom and Dad look like they had the perfect family. Dad ran a small auto shop in the city, always coming home with grease on his hands. Mom did bookkeeping for neighbors from our kitchen table. They weren't rich, but they cared so much about how things looked. Sunday dinners had to be perfect. Everyone smiling for the neighbors. Sophia gave them that. I didn't. I wasn't in trouble. I wasn't loud. I was just the girl with her nose in nursing books while Sophia held everyone's attention. High school was when it really started to hurt. I won the State Health Sciences Award, the only kid from our school to even place. But that same weekend, Sophia had a big volleyball game. You already know where the car went. When I came home with my trophy, Mom barely looked and said, "That's nice, Liv," then went right back to fixing Sophia's uniform. It stung deep, but I pushed it down. I told myself the only way to matter was to be so good they couldn't look away. That became who I was, the girl who worked twice as hard, hoping one day they'd see me. But looking back, it makes me angry. Why does one kid get all the light while the other stays in the dark? It's like favoritism is this quiet poison that no one talks about, but it leaves scars that last forever. Then came the acceptance letter from the University of Michigan nursing program in Ann Arbor. When Dad read it at the kitchen table, he actually looked at me. Really looked. Michigan? Damn, Olivia, you might just make us proud. Mom called everyone she knew, her voice shaking with excitement. For a few weeks, I felt seen. But Sophia's smile at dinner was all teeth and no warmth. She was 25 then, stuck in a boring sales job in Schaumburg, and suddenly she was calling me every single day. How's the dorm? Who's your roommate? Tell me everything about Ann Arbor. I thought my sister was finally proud of me. I had no idea I was giving her the tools to destroy me. My 3rd year is when everything started to crack. My roommate, Jamie. Tough as nails from foster care, the only person who really got me. Got diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. She had no family. Just me. I went to the dean, explained everything, and got a real leave of absence. 1 semester, all the paperwork signed, my spot held. I moved into her tiny apartment, drove her to chemo in Detroit, sat with her at 3 a.m. when the pain was so bad she couldn't breathe. I called Sophia, crying, and told her the truth. She sounded so sweet. Take all the time you need, Liv. I won't say a word to Mom and Dad. They just worry themselves sick. 3 days later, the phone rang at midnight while I was sitting beside Jamie's hospital bed. Dad's voice was cold as ice. Sophia told us everything. You dropped out. You're with some drug guy. You've been lying to us for a year. My heart slammed against my ribs. I tried to explain, but he wouldn't let me. She showed us the messages. Don't bother with your stories. Mom got on the line, her voice breaking. How could you do this to us? We're so ashamed. Then they hung up. Sophia texted right after, sorry, Liv. Had to tell them. With that stupid little heart emoji. I sat on that cold hospital floor, phone still warm in my hand, while Jamie's machines beeped. I had $68 in my account and a dying friend. And my family was gone. I fought for days. Called them 12 times. First they answered, then they blocked me. Sent emails with every single proof. The leave papers, the dean's number, Jamie's doctor. Nothing. Mailed a long letter from Ann Arbor. It came back unopened, Mom's handwriting on the envelope like a slap in the face. Even begged Aunt Clara in Milwaukee to talk to them. She called me back in tears. Your dad told me to stay out of it. You made your bed. That's when the real weight hit me. This wasn't new. This was my whole life. Every award they missed. Every time Sophia's story won. They chose the easy path. The shiny daughter. Because facing the truth would have meant admitting they'd been wrong all along. 5 days later, I made the hardest decision of my life. I stopped calling. Not because I gave up, but because I chose to save myself. Jamie passed away in November. I was the only one there. I planned a small service with nurses and classmates. The chapel was almost empty. In her nursing book, she left me a note. Finish this, Liv. Become the nurse I know you are. Don't let blood stop you. Those words carried me through. I went back to school, took out more loans, ate hospital leftovers, worked 16-hour days, cried in the supply closet, then scrubbed in for the next patient. I graduated with no one from my family there. Got my residency at Northwestern right here in Chicago, a huge trauma center. Dr. Elena Vargas, the chief, became the strong mom I never had. She saw me. Really saw me. Then I met Michael, a public defender who volunteered at the clinic near the hospital. I told him my whole story one night. He didn't try to fix it. He just listened and said, you deserve people who choose you. We got married in Elena's backyard. Small and real. I sent my parents an invitation. It came back unopened. Aunt Clara came and cried happy tears for us both. 5 years went by. I became charge nurse in the ER. Bought a cozy house in Lincoln Park with Michael and our dog Flo. Life felt solid. But that empty space where family should be, it never went away. Holidays still hurt. I'd set the table and count extra plates that stayed empty. Aunt Clara called every Sunday. She'd share little updates. Mom and Dad were okay. Sophia got divorced, now selling medicine. The irony made me laugh sometimes. Last month her voice got tight. Liv, something's wrong with Sophia. I think she. My pager went off. Trauma coming in. I told her I'd call back later. I had no idea the trauma was her. That night at 3 a.m., the pager tore me from sleep. Car wreck. Woman 35. Unstable. I got to the hospital, grabbed the chart, and the world tilted. Olivia Harper. Emergency contact. Robert and Linda Harper. The ambulance doors flew open. Sophia on the stretcher, pale, bloody, barely breathing. Mom and Dad running behind her in pajamas, faces pale with fear. Dad was shouting, "Where's the head nurse?" "That's my daughter." My coworker looked at me, then at them, and said quietly, "Olivia Harper is in charge tonight." I heard Mom whisper through the glass, "She's all we have left." I stood in the scrub room, hot water running over my hands, staring at my own reflection. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it. I could walk away. Call another nurse. Let her go and never tell her it was me. It would have been so easy. Clean. But she was crashing. Spleen ruptured, liver bleeding out. And the best nurse in that building was me. So I made the choice. I told the doctor on call, "This is my sister. If I can't stay calm, you take over." Then I walked into the bay and said, "Let's go." Scalpel. Those 3 hours felt like forever. Every cut, every stitch, every clamp. I felt the weight of 5 years. My hands shook once when I saw her face. Then I steadied them. The team was silent, watching. When it was over, the doctor pulled me aside and said, "You're a stronger woman than I'll ever be." I walked to the waiting room still in my scrubs, badge clear as day. Olivia Harper, charge nurse. Dad stood up first. His eyes dropped to the badge. His face went white. Mom grabbed his arm so hard I saw the bruises later. The whole room went quiet. I kept my voice steady. Surgery went well. She's stable. You can see her in an hour. Mom stepped forward, tears streaming. Olivia. Oh my God, Olivia. I took one step back. 1 hour. Later, my coworker told me what happened in the ICU. Sophia woke up, saw my badge, and her eyes went wide. "You're in charge." I nodded. "Tell them the truth." Then I left the room. What came out next was ugly and raw. Sophia tried the old victim act. I was scared for her. Dad's voice cracked. "She's the damn charge nurse. You told us she dropped out." Mom was shaking. "We blocked her calls because of you." Sophia tried to twist it again, but this time the lies wouldn't hold. Aunt Clara showed up with a thick folder. Every email I'd sent. Every proof. Sophia's old texts telling her to stay quiet. Mom, read my graduation message. "I'm still your daughter." And broke down sobbing so hard the nurses had to bring her water. Dad turned to the window and cried. First time I'd ever seen it. Weeks later, I met Sophia at a quiet coffee shop in Bucktown. She looked small and tired. I asked the question that had burned in me for 5 years, why? She stared at her coffee. "Because you were going to be everything I wasn't." And I couldn't stand it. She even admitted she tried to get my school to kick me out. The dean wouldn't listen. I gave her one condition: email the whole family. Tell them everything. She did. 50 people got the truth. No one screamed at her. They just stopped believing her. That hurt her more than anything ever could. Mom and Dad started therapy. They're learning how their favoritism poisoned everything. I told them I'm open to trying again, but only on my terms. At the Nurse of the Year gala, I stood on stage and said, sometimes the family you're born into isn't the one that saves you. The one that shows up does. In the back row, Mom and Dad sat quietly, eyes full of regret and something new, pride. Now we're rebuilding, slow and careful. Last Sunday, they came for brunch. 4 plates on the table. Dad helped set them. Mom hugged me without saying a word. It's not perfect. It's real. And for the first time in years, it feels like enough. Here's what I learned, ladies. Favoritism isn't love. It's control. The hard truth is that some families protect the wrong kid because it's easier. But you get to choose who gets space in your heart. I chose boundaries. I chose me. And that turned out to be the sweetest kind of payback. If this story made you angry or made you cry or made you think about your own family, tell me in the comments. Would you have saved her? Would you open the door again? I read every single one. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time with another story that feels like talking to your best friend over coffee. You've got this.